Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the lower half of my little kitchen. I get to do some house maintenance today. This ought to be interesting, so I figured I'd bring the camera along because I've never done this before, and for those of you who have, it could very well be entertaining. And for those of you who haven't, it might well be educational in that, well, you don't want to do this sort of way. Our sink is falling apart, much like everything else in this little tiny house. And today I get to fix the left-hand drain because it is literally fallen apart. Here, let me show you what the sink looks like. At this point that looks pretty normal, but I don't think I should be able to do that. And that looks nasty. So I discovered that that pipe in there isn't even attached to anything. This just comes right off. That's not cool. So I have to figure out how to fix that today. Did some online research and it looks like it's pretty simple. So therefore I'm going to give it a try, but I really have just no idea what I'm doing. So let's hope this video ends well. From looking online, I get the impression that I need this measurement, which is 4.5 inches, and this inside measurement here, which is 3.5 inches, and hopefully I'll get the right flippin' part. Alright, back from the store, I've got this kitchen basket strainer assembly, which looks like the bit that's broken. Some plumber's putty, although it doesn't call for it, it kind of seems logical, makes a waterproof seal, blah blah blah, and some thread tape. That's just nasty. I hope I don't need any tools for this, because I'm out of money. But we've got a few kicking around, so I might be able to pull this off if I do. I think there's a pipe wrench somewhere. Well, now that I got this apart, I can see that that plumber's putty was definitely an unnecessary expense, but around this house you never know when we're going to need it. Now I might be a little old-fashioned, but I don't think we should be able to see light through there. And I'm pretty sure that flashlight is coming through the sink. Oh look, there's my fingers. Alright, let's just pull that off there. That can't be good. Now, what am I left with here? And what do I need to make use of? No instructions in the box because you're supposed to hire a plumber if you don't know, but I'm guessing I need to separate these two bits here and here so that I can get this down the center. That should be fun. Shall we see if I'm lucky enough for hand tight? Well, I'll attack that and get back to you. So as it turns, this unscrews from the bottom, loosens everything up, and my whole assembly can come out. Yay! Okay, so I got the bottom one off, as you can see. And this top one here almost looks like it was a band-aid measure. I don't think that's how it's supposed to be, because with the new one, I got a little brass coupling that seems to go on the top there instead. So I think I'll go with this. Alright, so in theory, I've got my top piece with the rubber gasket. I'm going to put this through the top of the sink, like so. And I've got my bottom piece with the pipe fitting that needs to go in there. I've also got the bottom cover that needs to go on there. So, let us see how I will do this. Alright, so this is pretty awkward. I've had to lift this back up in order to slip the copper pipe in through the one black ring, leaving the copper housing here at the top and that plastic thing in there. And it's a pretty snug fit. I don't know if that's design or just grime. But now I need to get the bottom cover on there, which is interesting. And the cover bolt needs to go on there. I have no idea how well this is showing up in the camera. I I'm now of the opinion that kitchen plumbing is a two-person thing. But clang, clang, clang. Tighten up the bottom of the cover, which right now leaves me about 3/4 of an inch sitting up in the sink. But if I can lower this down a little bit, I should be in fine shape. So I guess that will be a press action. Thread this on first. Alright, let's find a way to hold it on the top and thread this on first. And a good shove from the top. Sees that nicely in place. I'm kind of excited. I think I might have actually fixed the sink. And it was way easier than I was expecting. Now, I'll tighten that up in a bit. But, next thing I think I want to tighten would be this coupling here. Because I sure don't want that leaking on me. Oh, and again, hold it from above and below. Makes sense. Not easy, but makes sense. Okay, that's as tight as I can get that by hand. And like I said, there's a tool shortage. And crank that bottom piece back on. And I'll be darned if I don't think I'm pretty much done. Didn't need the putty. Probably should have used the thread sealing tape. We'll see how that goes. The other side is completely covered with it. But this isn't exactly the world's best built house. So, just going to tighten that up and then we'll test it. I love the fact that Chox has tools. Look what I found. Alright. Well, that's probably tighter now than it was when the house was freaking built. I guess there's just one thing to do. Alright. I'm going to move the camera back just a little bit, just in case. Well, here comes the water. I don't see any leaks yet. Oh, that's good news. I guess the question now is, will it hold water so I can do the dishes? That's looking promising. I'll just check down below. Don't see any leaks down below yet. So we're going to fill it up to the top of this original cap. Just a little bit of that exposed. We're going to check back on it in 10 minutes on the timer and see if it's leaked any out. Well, there goes the timer at 10 minutes, and it looks to me like the water is exactly where it was. I'm going to call this sink fixed. Huzzah! Well, I guess that's another case of you never know what you can do until you got no choice but to find out. Turns out I can fix a leaky sink. Good deal. Alright everybody, thanks for watching, assuming you've made it to this point in the video. And, yeah, feel free to click like or share if you learned something or entertained or most importantly, if there's anything I desperately need to know about what I've done here, please comment below. Down there. Alright, thanks everybody. I am out of here. Bye.